since childhood, I've been exposed to this idea of 4 stages of life. And
Mm-hmm.
so they've always resonated with me.
Yes.
And I've always felt that they are an intellectually great way to see our lifespan. But I'll say that for me, going through menopause, and when I say going through menopause, I really realize it's really way more than about the cessation of the menstrual cycle. It
Yes.
feels much bigger than that. It
Mhm.
is a tremendous life change. I mean, arguably the deepest system of the body, the endocrine system that governs all the hormonal actions in the body, is completely rearranging. We're shape shifting. We don't come out the other
Yes.
end of this the same. And so we don't come out the other end the same in terms of the 4 stages of life. So when we're looking at this, when I saw that from in my childhood, that there's these 4 stages, right? I saw intellectually that made sense, but going into this third stage, it's different. It's not just menopause. It's a tremendous rearrangement of so many aspects of us, the physical aspect, the
Yes.
emotional aspect, the spiritual aspect, everything changes.
Yes.
So it helped me look forward to that and prepare for that. And I think that there's a preparation that is very useful, but not essential, that
Mm-hmm.
happens in the previous two stations of life, the student stage of life and the householder stage of life.
Mm-hmm.
If we weren't well prepared in those stages, then the transition is a little harder, but
Right.
it's not a lack of hope. We can make up for that deficiency if
Mm-hmm.
we have a little understanding and education and awareness
Right.
around it. So that's helped me. And in one way that I've found around this is it's not just this physical transition. There's some parts of this transition that are instantaneous and some that take 10 years to
Mm-hmm.
go through. I
Right.
remember sitting right here where I'm sitting right now, and it's April 2024 now, so like it was February, I think 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I'd been looking in this direction my whole life, and something turned my head. And ever since, I've looked in that direction and never seen reality the same way since. That
Yes.
was something that happened instantaneously, but many aspects have happened
Yes.
over a year, 2 years, 3 years,
Right.
10 years. There's this, it's not menopause, it's a whole
Right.
transition of being.
Yes. And so, I think that actually gets to something I was thinking about. It's actually a question, but we can talk about it this way is that, in many traditional cultures, menopause is not viewed just as a biological transition. That's a very Western point of view, coming from, the medical world that I come from as an MD. That is the way we're sort of presented it, right? But it's really, as you're saying, more of a all encompassing transition, right? It's spiritual, it's emotional, it's physical also. But the spiritual and emotional are also happening, even relationships. It's sort of what you were saying is that we are shifting in every way. And I think what the point you're making is that there's that biological piece that might happen, over a few years, but there's this other piece that may take longer, the
Definitely.
emotional spiritual perspective, even sort of what you were talking about, looking from one's direction to the next. That's a full perspective change.
It is. And, how it's important because why does it matter that our perspective is changing? How we see things
Yes.
matters.
Mm-hmm.
And if we look at that statement a little closer, how we see things matters. What is matter?
Yes.
Materializes. How we
Yes.
see things materializes. Thought creates biology.
Yes.
So how we see this transition is going to affect how the transition happens.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things, so in terms of those 4 stages, if people aren't familiar with them, this third stage that we're going into through, let's call it menopause, but this huge transition is vanaprastha, which is the stage where we are to be living in a forest. And that's metaphorical, and sometimes it's it's actual.
Right.
But the idea is to retreat some and start this more inner journey and take a little bit more space.
Mhm,
And when we look at menopause as this thing to fear, or that it's an end to something, an end to all the important things, sexiness
mhm,
and power, and you become invisible. Oh my God, thank God we become invisible sometimes. Like that gives us a little bit of space. That
mhm,
invisibility, if that happens, can give us a little bit of space to go in, to turn the attention, which has been going out to all these things for so long, inward to nourish that internal terrain.